26 shittiest things people have done, according to Reddit. Number 26. Middle school hockey trip. Parents were down at a hotel bar and I was alone in the hotel room. Heard numerous blood-curdling screams for help from what sounded like the room next to mine. Continued for a couple of minutes. Panicked, I ignored it. Went downstairs to join my parents, pretending like nothing had happened. I hope she's okay. Whoever she was. Probably just kinky sex. You know how it is. Doesn't make you a shitty person. It's so sad that that clearly has followed him his entire life. Poor guy. A response here reads, I would probably do the same if I was your age. Back then, my motto was that if I did nothing, things would fix themselves and vanish. Ignorance was bliss. And well, if you're able to hear the screams, most likely the neighboring rooms of people traveling down hallways would have heard it too. Well, that's one outlook. Number 25. Damn. So, this story involves several of my mates. Let's call them Laura, Rob, and Harry. Rob, Harry, and I are good mates. Laura's a fairly cool girl, although not necessarily the type to keep her legs closed. And I didn't know her particularly well. Anyway, one day Harry gives her a lift home and some of us were chilling at home. And long story short, he ends up banging her without a condom, but he pulls out and spaffs on her tummy to avoid babies. Spaffs on her tummy. Now would be a good time to point out that Harry had a girlfriend. So, after finding out, me and Rob have a bit of a laugh and decide to play a prank on him in the spirit of justice. We get Laura on board and decide to get her to tell him that she's pregnant and the kid is his. Harry in turn tells me and Rob, and we act the part and advise him to get an abortion. Pregnancy tricks? Like, come on. This is why I don't have friends. The next stage was getting Laura to tell him that it wasn't an option. She was raised Catholic and would never kill her child. Bullshit. Harry is squirming a lot at this stage, and this is where the prank should have ended. Instead, I cannot justify why we didn't kill the plank. Y'all need to be walking a plank, playing shit like this on your fuck-ass friends. We carried it on. Hey, real talk. For people who don't know, Chappelle is going to be hosting Saturday Night Live soon. So not only will that be a reason to watch this outdated and played out show, but you can probably dust off whatever television you got. Try to figure out how to get cable so you can watch. Is that a phone ringing? Come on now. Anyway, the next stage, getting Laura to, I'm Catholic, blah, blah, blah. Harry is squirming a lot at this stage, and this is where the prank should have ended. Instead, and I could not justify why we didn't kill the prank, we carried it on. After a night out, one time we all crashed at Rob's house and had a deep conversation discussing things such as whether he should drop out of university and what he's going to do for a job to pay child support. Now he's going to tell his girlfriend whether he should try living with Laura, etc. After about 2 weeks, it's to a point where he was going to speak to his girlfriend, and then we realized that maybe we should stop him. Considering he was one of our good mates, and we traumatized the living shit out of him. But instead of telling him straight, we got Laura to pretend that she had a miscarriage and that the baby had died. For 2 years after this, we didn't tell him the truth. The poor fucker must have gone through an emotional roller coaster of preparing himself to have a kid, and then the anguish of losing it. I remember getting a phone call from him years later, and his first words were, "You fucking cunt," followed by the sound of Rob laughing his ass off in the bathroom. I knew straight away what was up. Luckily, he's a good lad with a good banter, so we still have a laugh about it. But goddamn, I've always got a one-way VIP ticket to hell when I die. I mean, I can see it. Like, I'm the type of guy where when a joke is terrible, I'm kind of like apologizing by the end of the sentence. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just going, I'm just kidding, my bad. I'm just teasing. But fuck me, man. A pregnancy lie? That is so gross. I mean, I guess he kind of deserved a little bit of monkey balls running around on that girl or whatever. But at the same time, like, Jesus Christ, these are your friends? Stripes, speaking of good banter, Is this the part where you just, say nothing the whole, people are tuning in because
just trying really hard not to breathe into this thing.
Yeah, we got her another microphone to see if she can break it by the end of the the video.
That's so unlucky. The last time was an accident.
Everything's an accident with Stripes. Number 24. Okay. Oh God. Okay. When I was like 13 or 14, I was babysitting my brother. Wouldn't this be 23, Kyle? Number 23. Oh God. Okay. When I was like 13 or 14. You're alright, Kyle? When I was like 13.
Oh my God, are you okay?
When I was like 13 or 14. Oh God. Okay.
When you were 23?
When I was like 13 or 14. You know what it was? I'm such a good voice actor that I was channeling a 13 or 14-year-old.
Is that what you were doing?
Yeah, dude. I couldn't stop myself from doing it though, because the voice camera. I couldn't. Oh wow, I'm really good. I don't get paid enough. Anyway, when I was like 13 or 14, I was babysitting my little brother, who was maybe 6 years old. See, it just went right into it, naturally right into it. He had a minor cold at the time. Cough, runny nose, etc. After my parents left, I went outside to smoke a bowl. Oh God. I came back in and started playing this game with my brother. After we chased each other around the house and we were running around the dining room tables, he started coughing because he had a cold. Oh my God. I see where this is going.
I don't. Should I?
After my parents left, I went outside to smoke a bowl, Stripes.
Wait. Okay, so he's gonna...
Don't break your brain trying to figure it out.
I don't want to believe he gave a 6-year-old
But if you're gonna break something,
weed.
break your brain. Don't break another microphone in here. You get me?
I don't want to believe he gave a 6-year-old weed.
He didn't give the kid weed. Maybe he got, a little bit of that. And I hope you like jamming too. Oh yeah. I came back in and started playing this game with my brother where we chased each other around the house. And after we were running around the dining table in circles, he started coughing because he had a cold. And I started to get super... Yeah, funny thing is, here's the crazy thing. I'm kind of making myself yawn because after the first yawn, I think to myself, dude, this yawn is going to make people who are listening to it yawn. And then every time I say yawn in my head, I'm just like, dude, yawn, 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 yawn. Oh man. But like I said, maybe some people are trying to go to sleep to these. So it's a great lullaby that they're looking for. Whereas other people are getting really mad that I'm not just read. I hate you so much. Anyway, started getting super paranoid and crazy and thought he was dying. Like, is this another yawn? Come, stop singing. Stop thinking about it. Stop thinking yawn. Like that he couldn't breathe and was going to choke to death. I ended up calling 911. He was totally confused and petrified. By the time the paramedics showed up, he was just chilling on the couch. He was just chilling on the couch, totally fine. When my parents came home, I told them that I had to call 911 because my brother was having trouble breathing. He's not the only one. I was worried and totally made it sound really bad. They were glad I called. I was worried for years that I traumatized my brother. I still remember the look on his face when I was like, oh my God, I have to call 911. His eyes got all big and he was so scared and said, no, please don't. When he got older and went through his own phase of experimenting with the green. Oh, that's what it is. It's a phase of experimenting. You fucking crackers. I told him the truth, that I was really stoned. He thought it was funny. I'm the worst sister ever.
Oh, I figured it was a big brother. I feel this should start over.
Yeah. According to Reddit, you should see the phases that people experiment with family members. You know what I'm talking about? Anybody watching this who hasn't gone and listened to my broken arms video, now's the time to do that. Just type in Kyle broken arms and you'll get the Reddit story of a lifetime. So, number 22. I had this friend. She was a girl. She liked me, but I wasn't all that interested. I preferred to keep most people at a distance, and she seemed determined to get closer than I wanted. So one summer, between high school years, I just completely shut her out. I didn't respond to a single text or phone call. That is by far the shittiest thing I have done, and I have since apologized. Username checks out because the user's name is I'm not that smart. Why you shutting out puss, Why are you shutting out puss? I can honestly say I've never shut out puss, Not that type of guy, okay? Number 21, right? I spent an hour acting all optimistic, trying to convince my friend to ask out his crush with absolute full knowledge that he would get shut down. I just wanted to see what happened. Well, I mean, sometimes they need that kind of crap to happen to move on, as opposed to living in some kind of purgatory where it's like, should I tell her my feelings? But what if she'll reject me? Faggot. You pussy nigga. If you're listening to this right now and there's somebody that you have feelings for, regardless of their situation, it's probably more beneficial for you to just get it out so that you can move on with your corny ass life. And when you grow up, all right, there's going to be serious situations that I want to say hinder or obstruct your ability to even carry on with a relationship with some of the people that y'all are crushing on. But because you're too incapable of realizing that these are serious things, like them already being in an established baby having marriage type bullshit, or y'all just being so impractically far away or out of touch with one another that it could never really work, and that you guys would only probably, I want to say, run each other's batteries down to the point where neither of you are recharging or invigorating enough for each other for it to work in a way that's meaningful or lasting. There are a lot of relationships that can happen for a small amount of time, but not a lot of them, have staying power. It's kind of like a good video game. Sometimes you can play it for a while and then you're done. Not every game can be Overwatch where it's just hey, let's pop it in and keep playing. 22 characters. Do you think that you have 22 classes to offer your partner? Because sometimes having 22 classes doesn't matter if all of them are Hanzo. That's a high stakes analogy, Shrapes. That's a high stakes analogy. That takes a lot of understanding of the basic principles of Overwatch there, and why Hanzo is bad. Oh, Kyle, you so crazy. But I'm really alienating some people listening now. So let's go ahead and go to number 20. And the number 20 says, coming in at number 20. Stripes does not think I'm funny, and that's the funniest thing in the world to me, ladies and gentlemen. Let me look. I'm not going to lie to you. I get so much humor out of Stripes just going, this guy sucks. Number 20. I was picked on a lot in high school, and the ringleader literally goaded me into a reaction every day. No one else seemed to realize that what a douche he was, and he seemed really popular. Anyway, I got invited to this party in year 11, and go because nothing else to do. Everyone is already drunk when I get there. No one even remembers me turning up, and my nemesis is passed out drunk, face down on the sofa in the living room. Everyone is out back or in the kitchen, and as I am grabbing my beer, I notice a multi-pack of Cadbury Fuse bars on the side. I see my opportunity. I take one, unwrap it, and make sure no one else is around. In the living room, I lift up the back of his white Kappa tracksuit bottoms, and wedge it in my tormentor's butt crack. Then I leave quietly. Following Monday, no one will talk to him because he woke up in a panic, thinking he shit himself because the chocolate melted. A boom shakalaka.
He went to the trouble of shoving a chocolate up his ass.
He didn't shove it up his ass. He wedged it in a butt crack. Don't shove up the ass. Wedge it in the butt crack. You gotta wedge it in the butt crack. Don't shove up the ass. You gotta wedge it in the butt crack. Hey, you gotta wedge it in the what? Wedge it in the what? Bird up. Anyway, listen. Somebody said this seems fine, and Kyle is actually impressed because this is a list of shittiest things that people have done. and he actually incorporated chocolate that was meant to appear to be shit. So, points for him, because he got the shit in the shit post of a shitty man being a shitty person. But I mean, that sounds like justice. Number 19. I moved around a lot growing up, so I missed some key parts of history by jumping to different curriculum. One of the key areas I missed was the Holocaust. Skip to 8th grade literature class. Teacher is reading us some excerpts from Anne Frank's diary. The teacher is Jewish. Cue my dumbass saying, "The Holocaust was cool." I literally had no idea what I was saying, or even how it affected the person I was saying it to. I said it as a joke. Q sent straight to ISS, the in-school suspension. Oh, I remember that. That was so cool. We used to have to go sit in a room sometimes. And sometimes they would make it so that we couldn't talk to each other. And I'm telling you, man, if ever there is a time to own how comedic you can be without speaking, it's in school suspension. My dad getting called into school from his job, and then the resulting 20-page paper I had to write to the teacher for no grade on the Holocaust. Boy, did I learn a real fucking quick how shitty a thing that was to say. It's funny because this guy got punished for his ignorance, and usually it's the ignorant people who get the free pass because they're so stupid then they don't fucking know it, and they're never gonna know it because they'll never be checked on it. They'll pretty much just find themselves in the midst of people who are even more ignorant than them somehow, you know what I mean? And then all just get free passes. It's pretty nuts. But this guy ended up paying a price. How hilarious. All I know is that, I remember some of the times that teachers were wrong at our school, and they tried to make it about authority. It's not about that I'm wrong. And I'm like, no. You're teaching people. It's all about that you're wrong. That's 100% of what this is. So, if it happens again, we'll just go along with it and say that, we're not going to question you or some horseshit like this. But we will, because you're wrong. And being wrong when you're teaching is fucking infallible. What are you doing? All right, Stripes. And if I ever find you teaching, okay, the kids that 2 + 2 is 8. All right. Stripes looks like she has eyeshadow on.
I don't have any on.
Maybe it's just the glow of the red light in your face.
It's probably just a lack of sleep.
Yeah, you wish you had raccoon eyes. Number 18. Accidentally got my favorite teacher fired by pretending to have a fit when he faked hitting me. No, you didn't. Are you sure he wasn't fake fired? No, I saw the flames myself. Definitely real. Okay, yeah, this guy's got the jokes. You did not get no teacher fired when they just pretended to hit you. That's crazy.
Have you ever made a teacher quit?
No, I made him cry. That's the better one. When you gotta see their stupid face and, they remember the embarrassment that they had to live down, That's the real torture, Sometimes you can say more without saying a damn thing to some people who know they fucking wrong, regardless of whatever stupid ass pretenses they put up all the time. Because when you're wrong, nigga. And, eventually it'll come to you. And you'll wake up in the night and realize you're alone, regardless of who you're surrounded by. Oh, Lord. Number 17. I sprinkled a bit of salt into a child's eye. I was sitting at a table, and they were under the table. Well, what you doing under the table? Damn, but salt in the eye, you know what I mean? How about some salt in your face, little boy? Oh, mommy, help me with the salt. Somebody responds. At a Sunday school thing, I once made a paper plane and poured salt into the groove in the middle of it and threw it over a bunch of kids. They all got really angry, but none of the carers knew and thought they were just bullying me. I felt so devious. That Operation Salt Storm was a That Operation Salt Storm was a success. Fun fact, if you pretend to shake salt onto your tongue, your brain will actually trick your tongue into tasting salt. Do you understand that, Stripes?
That's amazing. I want to try it.
That's amazing. You want to try it? Do you get the joke there, though? Do you? Visualize it, Stripes. Do you get the joke there?
I get the joke.
Your brain will actually... That's just... Man, I want a girl who would fall for that kind of crap. Can you imagine? We gotta make her the mascot of the channel. She would outstripes you by going, really? That's so cool. And then do it, and we'd be like...
Is that why you looked at me? You were waiting to see if
No. I was just wondering if you got the joke, because sometimes you don't get it. Number 16.
Give me a fortune cookie.
Special thanks to Bonnie, who was sweet enough to send me, 2 boxes of 100 fortune cookies. Sexy of her. Love you, Bonnie. Some things I put on this wish list is just like a what am I gonna do with these type item. And she sent the fortune cookies, man. She sent the fortune cookies. So, hats off to Bonnie. Special thanks to Lexeus again for just being amazing. So number 16.
Wait, I asked for a fortune cookie, but you didn't actually get
Shut
one.
up. All right, look. Number 16. All right, Stripes, I'll get it for you. Just chill out. When I was in high school, were you gonna open it in front of the mic and then eat it?
No, I just want the fortune.
You'd still have to. When I was in high school, there was a girl who was just a real bitch to me, man. I never knew why. I don't think I had ever done her wrong, but day after day, there she was in all her bitchiness. Well, hey, man, some girls constantly on a rag, baby. Damn, they need to get that in and out. You know what I'm talking about? Need to get bent over and let out. Kidding. So this is on a particular day. She would just say real shitty things, and I ignored it. Then I was standing in the quad with some of my buddies, and she yells at me completely unprovoked. You know what I'm talking about? Close taps to the right, Kyle. Completely unprovoked. Get the fuck out of my way. It really pissed me off. So she started disappearing into a sea of students, and as a last-ditch effort to release some of my frustration, I took my gum out of my mouth and threw it at her. She was probably 20 to 25 feet away, so I assumed it fell harmlessly to the ground. So after I calmed down for about 1 to 2 minutes, I see her again, but there's something wrong. She's crying, and her friend is trying to console her. She walks about 6 feet away from me, and I'm staring at this bitch, literally thinking, what the fuck? And then I see it. Her entire head was a massive tangle of gum and tight brown curls. And for about 3 seconds, I felt bad. Then I realized that for me to make that throw damn near blindly into a crowd of people and have it land on her in the only real place it could have been, that gloriously catastrophic, I knew I had made the right choice. Wow, gold. Thanks for popping my gold cherry, faggot. Well written, morally justified, greatly skilled marksmanship. 8 out of 6 out of 10. With rice, we get it. I'm not reading with rice for the Reddit collection. It's so stupid.
What's with rice?
With rice is an Ask Reddit thread where some guy goes, hey man, I'm gonna try everything with rice.
Okay, I've heard of that one.
And then he goes, yeah, this tastes okay, and it tastes like this with rice. And then he tried to make a YouTube channel and deleted everything in the thread. So, thanks, asshole. Now he can't even have it as like a historical thing. Number 15. When I was about 4 or 5, I had almost no understanding of the human anatomy. My little brother and I were doing crafts, including big person scissors, because mom wasn't wasting money on kid scissors. Okay. I don't know why, but I thought, I wonder what will happen if I cut the tip of my brother's finger. So I tried it. Only a bit, but I remember mom holding pressure on his finger in the sink underwater. I don't think he needed stitches. You gonna cut a human's fingertip off, motherfucker. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna kill them all when I get older. I wonder if I just cut a little tip of that penis off, what happened?
Wait, does that mean it has like an incomplete fingerprint now?
Maybe. This sounds like a butter slice origin story. Is what it, yeah. Did something similar when I was at that age. Dad had to bring me to work, and I was playing with a stapler. Hey, I wonder if staplers work on other sort of stuff other than paper. Like, I don't know, my hand or something? Cue my dad panicking over why I put a staple in the middle of, why I'm in the middle of the warehouse screaming my ass off. And this is how we learn. Number 14. My aunt was sick with Alzheimer's, but even though the illness was progressing, she still made a birthday cake every year. One time, I was really sick with norovirus. Gonna look that up really quick because it is not something that I am offhand familiar with. Norovirus is winter vomiting. Ugh. Damn.
So it's just the flu?
Damn, you vomiting? Damn. Let me stop. Damn. Anyway, she came over at 11 a.m. with a cake and I was still in bed. I pretended I wasn't in and didn't answer the door. She didn't know what to do and left it on the doorstep with a card. She died later. And that was one of the last times I would have... You son of a bitch. He's making me feel human emotion. She died later. And that was one of the last times I would have been able to see her while she was still sort of okay and not bedbound. It's not your fault, you bitch.
Well, it doesn't matter. That doesn't mean people can't feel regret.
But he considers it one of the shittiest things he's done. Get real. You got sick. The response is, I understand why you feel bad about this one, but having a virus, I don't think you should. If nothing else, it's highly contagious and she could easily have caught it from you. It sounds like she loved you very much, and I'm sure she would forgive you for having been too sick for visitors. Someone else says, you're so right. The virus is extremely contagious and dangerous condition for older people to come down with. You probably did the right thing by not letting her in her house because she caught it. Then you could have been really bad for her. Oh, baby. So, of course, we got another one which is deleted. I omitted this from the grand number. From what I assess, it appears to be some guy punching his grandma in the stomach. Fuck you, grandma.
I don't know why they just don't delete their Reddits and just leave the posts for posterity.
Because he also deleted his account.
He did both?
He deleted the post and he deleted his account. So, yeah, he must have gotten some shit. I really got to get a top level comment one day and see what everybody has to say to me, because I would love that kind of attention. People don't even comment on my YouTube videos. That's right. I'm talking to you. Because if one day all of the people listening actually commented on the video, then maybe then I might imagine a day where I'd be happy. Number whatever this is. Stripes, don't move around so much. You can't come this close to me, because the mic will pick up both of our voices like it's already picking up mine, because my voice travels even when I'm whispering. Stripes always trying to come at me.
I just wanted to give you a hug.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Okay, senior year, sit down. Senior year of high school, me and a longtime buddy were at a party hosted by a kid from the rival high school. One of our mutual friends had invited us. The party was pretty weird and we were bored. We noticed a drawer ajar. The drawer was ajar with a disposable camera. Ostensibly, the parents. What?
You alright? What does it say?
It said ostensibly the parents in the parentheses, and it broke my brain. And decide to have some fun with a disposable camera. My buddy grabs the camera and we start taking pictures around the house full of kids with booze in their hands, incriminating evidence. Thank you. What a douche. People take notice and start posing for pictures. Even the host was in on one of them with a bottle of vodka in his hand, probably not knowing that the disposable camera was something that they found in the house and that they're just going to put back. Then, for good measure, we went to the bathroom and snapped a picture of our dicks each. White people do some borderline gay shit, man. Well, here's my dick. Okay, you now? Okay, there's your dick? Alright, let's just put it back where we found it. Leave the drawer ajar. We put the disposable camera back in the drawer. We found it and hightailed it out of there. To this day, I have no idea what happened. Now that's a true story, with no aftermath. But I like to think that someday it got developed, and whoever the camera belonged to, the parents, it got in trouble for that house party that they were trying to make quiet.
I like to think That it just sat in that drawer until they had to move.
Somebody
If they ever had
somebody
to.
else said that. They said the camera is still in that drawer untouched and unprocessed.
It might stay that way for generations.
Oh, please. You think that, a lot of our residences are going to survive the robot wars? Number 12 or something. I tripped a kid walking through the cafeteria when I was in 12th grade. 12, Kyle? That would need a 1 to be that. Let's try that again. I tripped a kid walking through the cafeteria when I was in 2nd grade. He fell flat on his face and his lunch went everywhere. I had seen it done in movies and it looked hilarious, but when I did it in real life, I instantly felt terrible. A teacher saw it and gave me a stern reprimand for it. Sounds like you got off. 2nd place, I threw a pine cone in a girl's head and was dead on in the 4th grade or so. It wasn't an old pine cone either. It was a fresh one, very dense. I was far away on the playground and I had no malicious intent. It seemed so impossible that my aim would be spot on from that far away, that my 9-year-old mind. It seemed perfectly safe to try. Well, this was a 1 in a million throw where my aim was perfect. Like in the first example, I instantly felt terrible and never did anything like that again. Liar! Liar! Somebody else responds, my dad likes to say that kids growing up doing stupid bad things to learn the boundaries of their conscience. He told me this as we watched my little nephew, 2 to 3 at a time, do something that he regretted. Some people don't have conscience boundaries.
Yay! No conscience boundaries.
Number 11. I made fun of my roommate's grandma over the phone because of her weak, raspy voice due to throat cancer.
Oh no.
And was mistaken as one of my buddies messing with me. Caller ID was a wonderful invention that I chose to ignore that day. Ooh, how did she react? With hurt and anger. I then realized my mistake, whispered, I'm so sorry, and hung up on her and stared at the wall blankly. What color was the wall? That comment really tickles me. I'm sorry. It's because, it's like they're just like,
Oh yeah, you stared at the wall?
I'm sorry. Now that is a follow-up question, and he says pale. Pale is my soul. I wonder if there's any more. Somebody said that instantly reminded me of Daredevil, where Wilson Fisk is staring at that shitty drywall after killing his dad.
I'm really done.
Why did he put that? After killing his dad, he wrote it D-A-D-E. Rest in peace, dad. He killed his dad.
I'm so glad we made it to that point.
Oh my god. Pepperonis.
This
Look,
could have been bad. What if we hadn't seen that yet and we did the list?
wouldn't matter.
It mattered to me.
Wouldn't matter. It's not like a big plot point. Oh, he killed. Oh. You've ruined it for somebody who hasn't seen it. Number 11. I smacked my brother so hard he fell head first into my dresser because he ran into my room screaming and tripped over my PS2 and unplugged the controller. Well, it's not like he unplugged the PS2. You just plugged the controller back in. You're not in the middle of a boss fight, homie. You did the right thing, somebody says. Man, I had a shithead friend that ran around and tripped over my cord on my PS2 and broke the entire thing. He broke my Crash Bandicoot racing game. I wish I beat the shit out of him, but instead I just cried. Oh.
That's how I broke the Wii.
You had a Wii at your house and you broke it?
I tripped on the GameCube controller that was plugged into it.
You are a klutz, Stripes. Oh my god, how does your family put up with it?
I panicked trying to get out of the room because I saw someone pull in and I wasn't wearing any pants. And that was in my room.
Oh my god, Stripes. You were without pants in someone else's room. I just can't stand you sometimes, Stripes. I was at a birthday party at my friend.
No one was home.
Oh, so that just, means that you could just run around into everyone's room with no clothes on.
I was wearing clothes, just not all of them.
I was at a birthday party at my friend's, and he lived in another town. So I didn't know the other kids going. We were probably around 10, and we were all bringing our Nintendo DSs to play. We were messing around like boys do, and I told the kids to be careful of my DS because he was right next to it. Next thing I know, he's spazzing out for whatever reason, and he sits his entire body weight down on it and broke it. I was so devastated, and we tried to get in contact with his parents to buy a new one, or at least apologize, but the kid's parents were pieces of shit and basically told me it was my fault, even though it was his son who broke it. Somebody said I'd have made them pay with their son's blood. Y'all can't just go around breaking people electronics, man. That's the saddest part of the new season of South Park. You really feel for Cartman. Anyway, number 10. I once put a piece of chocolate on this girl's chair at work. She was wearing white trousers that day. You can work out the rest. Somebody else says, edit. There's a surprising amount of people asking me about the size of her ass. It was huge, because she was a big girl. It was a piece of Cadbury's Dairy Milk, a great chocolate. Only one other dude in work knows I did it. She got up out of her seat after an hour or so, and someone pointed it out. She was fucking fuming and demanded to know who did it. I went into the break room, and a friend of hers was trying to scrub it out, only making matters worse. Why did you do it? If you don't mind me asking. Well, sure, she was a bitch. Used to report other staff for minor stuff. No one likes a grass. I was also young and immature. I do regret it, though. I'd bet. Why would you want to waste chocolate? Well, depending on how fine the booty was, it was massive. Nice. Man. Sometimes big ass ain't great ass. Got dimples and stuff in there, and it's kind of like flat at the wrong angles. You ever see like a butt that's just like, let me see here. Dude, can I type that in? No, I couldn't. But asses are asses. I don't think we can get in trouble for asses. Let me see here.
You were gonna live to eat your words.
I'm not gonna eat my words. Shut up. Okay, let's just go here. Jump out. Okay, hold on. Whoa. Okay, wait up. Doesn't look like that. Okay. Yeah, and that's like Hank Hill ass. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, do some squats, girl. Oh. Oh no, my God. Let's get out of here. I made myself sad. Oh no. That's the shittiest thing I've done today. Is type, flat butt into Google Images. Look, man. When I was a kid, old enough to know better, young enough to not care, I threw a frog as high as I could into the air. Instant regret. Before it even hit the ground, I was questioning why I did it. I couldn't even force myself to go witness the aftermath once gravity had brought the poor creature back to Earth. I walked immediately inside, and I'll probably never forget that frog as a lesson on empathy. Every child has done this. Every child has killed some animal, big or small, and then asked themselves, why did I do it? Kids stepping on snails, people drowning ants, and then going, no. Why did I do it? No. Response reads, on the same note as yours, old enough to know better, young enough to not care, I once bought a 3.6 million volt taser on eBay and sat out with some friends to test it. We zapped a few spiders while walking around the park, then came across a little frog, and we decided to zap it. The taser was in my hand, so I had obvious dibs on the first non-spider to ride the lightning. I crouched down, nestled the prongs on the poor little bastard, and hit the button. I received my punishment rather swiftly, because the frog happened to be touching a spider web, which was also touching me. I learned that day that spider webs can conduct an awful lot of electricity. Instant karma. One of my aunts got a taser. Reddit's crazy, man. This was back in the 80s when there was pretty much just the police spec fuck your shit up and make you a jerk on the grounds for 5 minutes model. Okay. We went on a road trip and she carried that huge ass taser everywhere in her purse for some reason, and it stuck in my head. I had to try it. I waited till she was in the shower, snuck it out of the hotel room with my older Downs cousin. Oh my god.
Downs is in Down syndrome?
Yeah, his cousin has Down syndrome. Is this like is this an 80s movie? Come on, Larry, get your Timmy. You get your taser. It's not funny, Kyle. You know, if I have any Down syndrome subscribers, you know I love you. Stripes laughed though. I just want her to go to hell for it, you know. I'm just a messenger, you know.
I'm taking you with me.
Man, I work in Hale's kitchen. We make souffles, or as we call them down there to piss people off, souffles. I remember thinking that this is because it's hell. Yeah, because it's hell. Woo! And I remember thinking, this is the dumbest thing I've ever going to do. Then this is going to be awesome. Then jumbled blackness, like I blacked out, and the world was still shaking. I came to with my cousin laughing at me, saying he's retarded. But even he's not that retarded. Oh shit! The cousin got burns. Did you hear him? He said he came to, and his cousin was laughing at him, saying he's retarded, but he's not that retarded. A burn.
Why'd you drop the list for that?
I'm glad you didn't tase your disabled cousin, because that's totally where I thought the story was going. Look, in response to the first story, which was about the guy trying to tase the frog,
No, the first story was him throwing a frog into the air.
Yeah, you're right. Damn, even you're following this horse shit on Reddit's, you know, wild and wacky roller coaster better than I am. The first story was about somebody throwing a frog into the air. Somebody was all like, I got a taser, and then I zapped the frog, but the frog was connected to a little bit of spider web, and spider web conduct electricity. So I was like, oh Lord, I'm getting zapped now. I thought I'd go blind and deaf. When I got me zapped by that electricity, everything went dark. My aunt had a taser. I waited till she was in the shower, and then me and my Down syndrome cousin, even I'm not dead retarded. Fucking. And then somebody else writes a poem. It's poem for your sprog again. He's everywhere on Reddit, apparently. When little Timmy found a sight with tasers old and new, he laughed aloud with deep delight to see what he could do. Electric fun, the page proclaimed, and soon arrived his own. The cells were charged, the pins were aimed. He took it out alone. A slimy frog to start, I think, he gaily cried with pride. But Timmy overlooked the link, and Timmy fucking died. A taser shouldn't kill him, you know, unless he's a punk bitch. You know what I mean?
I don't know what this whole everyone has killed a tiny animal just to see what it feels like thing is about. I've never even kicked a lizard before.
Why a lizard? Because you look like one? Look, we're riding this fun train all the way down to the station, apparently. No, we're not. No, we're not. We need to continue this list. We need to end this list because I'm getting hungry and you're getting hungry. And I should be streaming because I haven't done that. Jeez, look how long this one is. Look, let me see what number we're at here also. Jeez, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, son of a bitch. Number 7. I still feel absolutely dreadful about this, you know? Even though it was over 10 years ago. Whenever I went out with a specific guy from work, his name was Jake, something bad happened. This obviously being the worst. It was a Friday afternoon, and I fancied a beer. Nobody else is interested except for Jake. So we end up at the local pub together. A couple of hours of drinking pass and we're super drunk. As you would expect after several hours of drinking, the time had come where we both needed to use the toilet. So we left for the journey together and ended up at a urinal standing next to each other. Jake, in his infinite wisdom, decided it would be hilarious to piss at me. He turns around and yells, "Hey!" and shoots a long stream of piss all over my fabric-toed shoes. Jake found this hilarious, where I thought it to be disgusting. He quickly runs off while I'm left to finish my own piss and calculate my revenge. I zip up, turn around to leave the toilet, when who do I see but Jake bent next to the basins? With no time to think, I ran in and planted my piss-soaked toe at full force in the middle of his asshole, bearing absolutely no mercy with my strength. The kick landed perfectly, directly between the cheeks. The revenge was more glorious than I could ever have anticipated. So I'm laughing and pat Jake on the back until I realized that the kick recipient wasn't Jake at all. My heart sinks and my jaw drops. It was an old man wearing the same color clothes. What's going on? Who was stopped in the struggle of doing up his belt. Oh no. Holy fuck. My words started stumbling out of my mouth. I asked the guy if he was okay and told him that I thought.
That doesn't really help.
And told him that I was so incredibly fucking sorry. I tried to explain how the misunderstanding could have occurred. However, he did not, or could not, say a word. He kept grunting and waved me off, signaling for me to leave. By this point, I am as white as a ghost, trying to comprehend what exactly just transpired and follow his instructions. Outside of the toilets, Jake is standing there laughing about the whole "I pissed on your shoe" incident when he notices I'm completely stoic. He walked back to our table and I explained to Jake that the pain our antics had incurred. We are both speechless. After 5 or so guilt-ridden minutes, we formulate a plan to make things right. This plan involves finding the poor guy I booted up the ass and cover whatever he wants to drink for the rest of the night. We both paced around the pub for at least an hour trying to find this guy. No luck. He was gone. I still feel like an absolute douchebag and no longer go drinking with Jake. Somebody else says, reminds me of a time when I was working as a waitress. The restaurant staff all just razzled each other all day long. Lots of groping and ass slapping. One of the girls runs up to another server and slaps her ass hard enough for the whole restaurant to hear. We all watch in abject horror as a customer, wearing all black like our uniforms and looking so much like one of our co-workers, turns around in surprise. We weren't allowed to slap ass out on the floor anymore after that. Probably not a bad policy, regardless of the incident, you know what I mean? Would you like me to bring your food? I've got a little bit of doo-doo brown all over my hands here. Yeah, doo-doo brown. Fucking. Number 6. When I was around 13 years old, my grandfather passed away, and we cremated him so that his ashes could be scattered into the Great South Bay, Long Island. My aunt had come up from Florida for the funeral, and after the services were over, the immediate family drove down with the urn to the bay. We had all gotten out of the cars, and my aunt was reaching for the urn, which was in a box on the middle seat. When she lifted the urn, it broke. It was a water-dissolving urn. My grandfather's ashes were all over the seat, and my aunt, being 13 and always messing around and making fun of friends when they fell or did something dumb, I automatically shouted, "Nice job!" Realizing what I had just said, I just stood there with my hands over my mouth as my aunt turned to me with tears in her eyes and her father's ashes on her hands. Oh man, somebody says, "Oh man, I hope this doesn't stay buried." That was fantastic in a really, really dark way. Smooth breathing. It's pretty messed up, dude. This isn't funny.
Wait, but what's the water dissolvent vase?
I mean, I would imagine it's like the type where it's like super sealed or something so that the ashes are in there. And then when you throw it into the water can dissolve it so that it's not just, pots floating around out there. there are a lot of dead people, Stripes. You know, we got to figure out a way to deal with all these dead people, because it's nuts that dead people are actually taking up land now. You know what I mean? Hypothetically, we're going to run out of space to keep all these dead people. So, cremation really is the way to go here. And if
would you like to be cremated?
I mean, what do I care about the body after I'm dead? You guys are getting crazy. That's a stream question for Kyle. What do you want us to do with your body, Kyle? I want you to, take me to a priest. Take me to the priest and have me brought back. Only the finest silks will you adorn me with for the ritual. For the ritual. Number 5. One time I tried to steal a stop sign, but got busted by the cops. The hell kind of neighborhood were you in where the cops were actually there? I was in college. Well, there you go. And my friends noticed that a stop sign near the dorms had fallen over. It was after a dinner and raining really hard outside. Well, if it was raining hard enough, then you would have had cover. And they figured this would be the best time to take it. I was bored and figured that since college had taken so much of my money, they could probably afford to replace a stop sign. The plan was that I would go pick up the stop sign. My friends would drive up. I would place the stop sign in the car. They would drive off. And I would walk back to the dorm. So I walked over to the stop sign. Look, sometimes when you're in college, it's really just all about seeing like whether or not you can do something. It's like, hey, look, that table's out there. We gotta steal that table, bro. We gotta take that table. Come on, look. We got the pickup truck right here. Let's just do it. Get the table. Go. You got the table. What are we gonna do with the table? What are we gonna do with a table? What?
You could just refurbish it.
What do you mean, sell it?
Well, yeah, but it has to.
Why wouldn't we use the table? I'm not gonna let you do this, Stripes. Not everything that you want to take, you're thinking to resell it. The hell? I'm getting a lot of messages from people that I know don't give a damn about me. Weird. So, give me a second. I'm going to finish this. So I walk over to the stop sign. A car drove up to the corner. I picked up the stop sign, metal pole and all, and start walking to the car. Halfway there, I realized it was a stop sign. I stopped momentarily. What should I do? Drop it and run? Wouldn't the officer give chase? I kept walking towards the stop car. He rolled down the window. And he goes, "Where are you going with that stop sign?" And I go, "Hey, officer, I noticed this had fallen over and figured you'd want to know about it." He looked at me like an idiot. Keep in mind that it was raining and I completely soaked at this point. Nigga, if you had a brain if you had this is exactly what you do. If you are stealing something, right? If you have like a stop sign in your hand, and you're going and there's a cop car there, you got to go full retard. Yeah. You got to go, "Hey, this fell over. I'm bringing it to you. This is what I'm supposed to do," right? You know what I mean? You're supposed to just, feign Asperger's, make yourself, you turn that autism way the hell up. You got to turn that autism way up. And here I am, sir, doing my civil duty to report and, bring the stop sign that has fallen over to you. I can lead you back to where it is and we can get this sorted together. Do I get a badge? You know what I mean? You get to just go full autism and then he'll let him go, right? He'll let him go. And then he goes, "Just tell the traffic department in the morning when it's raining, you dingus," right? And then I go, "That's a good idea. I don't know why I thought I should come to you. Thanks for setting me straight." And then you put it down. You walk away. I set the stop sign down and walk back to my dorm. What?
The stop sign or the autism?
You maintain autism until you break line of sight with that police officer. Maintain autism at all costs. You set the stop sign down, which is what he said he did, and he walked back to his dorm. My friends had never left the dorm and just watched the whole thing from the window. Somebody said, "Good, quick thinking." Poem is writing another one. Look, he said, "You never run from the cops. You approach them unless you're carrying a weapon. In that case, you should just get the most comfortable getting shot up position." That one made me a little lightheaded. Did you hear that? Maybe
Is that a haiku? Because none of that
No,
rhymed.
look. I didn't read that right. Well, okay, look. The first guy says, "Good, quick thinking." And I agree. That's exactly what I would have done. I would have made it seem like I was reporting this sign to this person. Here you are. I have located this down to stop sign, and in the hopes that no one else steals it. Okay, I have brought it to you. for safekeeping or something, Jesus. Somebody else says, you never run from the cops, you approach them, unless you're carrying a weapon. In that case, you should just get into the most comfortable getting shot position. Okay.
So why'd you talk about the poem and then not read the poem?
Because we haven't reached the poem yet, your mother. So here's a response to that. He's got a stop sign. Shoot him. And then poem writes, they grabbed for their guns and they stood in a line. Get ready, they cried. So he showed them his sign. A simple, untroublesome stop, it had said. He thought it would help, but it didn't. He's dead. Who was this guy? People just upvote this crap like without fail.
It reminds me of the two. I think they were 20s. They were in the 20s, but they put plastic bags over stop signs and it killed 2 women.
Wait. Oh, that sounds awful, Stripes. Where do you find this kind of stuff?
It was in an article. Sometimes I look for those.
Why are you getting closer to me too?
I'm
Both
not
the microphones are gonna pick us up. We're gonna have people are gonna hate the audio on this one probably. Man, well, it won't happen again, guys. I'm sorry. Number 4. Many years back, I had a girlfriend who was very nice, but a bit full on about our relationship. One day, whilst rummaging in the drawer next to my bed to find my keys or something while she waited, I saw something and had a brain fart. I picked up the object and it turned to my GF and went down on one knee. Sarah, I said, as I produced a jewelry box. She went all giddy as tears started to form in her eyes. I opened the box. Have you seen my cufflinks? They're great, aren't they? Look, they're little metal dice. She ran crying from the room while I was left on one knee, realizing what a dick I can be. In my defense, I didn't plan the joke. It just sort of happened without me engaging my brain. Also, the cufflinks were pretty cool. Picture of the cufflinks, please. Oh my god, did this guy write another goddamn poem?
No, I just want a picture.
What is with this guy? She stands alone beside the store and looks beyond the glass. 1,000 precious things or more, 100 people pass. Her glance drift from ring to ring in disregard of price, and only pause upon one thing, a pair of silver dice. They're great, she seems to hear him speak. The word he spoke that day. A single tear attends her cheek. She slowly slips away. Why is everyone dying in his well, not that's up for interpretation. I just like the slipping away as a description of death. I like to think that people are, either somebody, technically.
Are you gonna get existential?
Yeah, listen, a couple of millions of people have seen at least a couple of my videos, right? Like altogether, because of all the views. So, statistically, someone has died while one of my videos has been playing. Isn't that a crazy thought?
That some of the last things that people heard was your voice?
I wouldn't go that far. I would just like to say, like, maybe a video of Kyle's was on in the background and then somebody was like, no. Or maybe they're just like in the car laughing. Oh, this is a funny crap. Oh my God. And then they go over the guardrail.
I wanted to believe you said garden wall, but maybe that is a euphemism for...
Look, going over the guardrail is going to be the new meme that I'm going to make happen. And then he went over the guardrail. Number 3. Okay, good question. Shit just got real. I was at a park with my wife and my 4-year-old daughter. We went with another couple with their 4-year-old son. The kids were both riding scooters, and little boy had been riding his scooter for a long time and rode it a lot. So he was very confident with his scooter skills, but my daughter had only just got her scooters a few days ago. She was nervous about riding it. The little boy thought it was funny to ride his scooter fast and then hit the brakes and gently bump into the back of my daughter's scooter. He did this 3 times, and my daughter got more upset each time he did this. Each time I told him not to do this in a progressively stern voice, but he kept doing it. After the 3rd time he did this, I looked him dead in his eyes and told him if he did it again, he'd be sorry. The little shit backs up 20 feet and starts coming full speed at the back of my daughter's scooter, and my parental instinct kicks in, and I put my foot firmly down a foot and a half before my daughter's scooter, thinking this would scare the kid into veering away, but he didn't have time, and he tries to stop and panic. His timing to slow down and gently crash into my daughter's scooter was thrown off by my foot, causing the 4-year-old to fall hard on the concrete path. He skinned both his hands and both his knees, and he loudly yells out, "What are you doing?" I instantly felt bad. Plus, some people in the park had missed the initial scooter bumping and just saw me tripping this 4-year-old kid, so I felt embarrassed. A few minutes later, after calming the kid down, both his parents laughed and thanked me for teaching their kid a lesson because he was being a dick. Don't be a dick, faggot. You little piece of shit. You told him to stop and he didn't listen. You also told me to be sorry, and he did it again. So I hope that kid in his skinned whatevers, remember every time in the future. You know what I mean? And it'll make a great flashback episode when in the future he picks the same, dice cube cufflinks, and then he's throwing the frog up into the air, and then I catch the frog, and then I hold the back of the frog in front of the kid's face, and I go, "Lick it." And he's like, "I don't want to lick a frog, man. I don't want to lick a frog." Number 3.
I like that the frog isn't dead in your version.
You think you're throwing a frog up in the air and then it hits the ground, it would die? Maybe it was on grass. Maybe it landed on grass. You don't know that. Number 3, when I was in high school, another kid in the class had been being a dick to my friend the day before. So I went into class a few minutes early and squirted a big blob of Germ-X in his chair. That's just, antibacterial. It's important to mention that nobody saw me do this. Class starts a few minutes later. He comes and sits down, and he is immediately furious. He starts looking around to figure out who did it, and there I am, doing a very poor job at hiding my laughter as I look at him. He puts 2 and 2 together, walks over, starts hitting me. This guy had a very short fuse, and the teacher sends us both to the office and asks why he was beating me up. He says I put water in his chair, but nobody else saw this. They just saw him get up and start hitting me. So I claim I have no idea what he's talking about. Well, there's only one way to see who's telling the truth. We all go back to the classroom to check the chair. Except it's Germ-X, not water. So it had evaporated. The kid gets suspended for 3 days, and I got off scot-free. I feel kinda bad, though. He put his hands on you. Fuck that kid. But why does he get the vacation? Kids. Number 1. My ex and I were in the process of buying a house together. I found out that her ex wasn't her ex. Oh. I could have broken up with her there and then, but I didn't. Instead, I bought the house. She sold her condo. She was not on any of those paperwork on my house. I broke up with her and kicked her bitch ass out in the cold January snow. This ain't shitty. That's justice.
This isn't shitty, it's justice.
She stared at me, silent, and stood in the snow.
But how can you do this? And where will I go?
You love me. You need me. This just isn't fair. Oh, darling, I whispered. I don't really care. Quite frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Somebody else says, I always wonder about people who can have 2 full relationships like that. She was clearly very serious with you if you were moving in together, and probably very serious with the ex, as they already had a pre-established relationship. Who the fuck has time for that? Oh no, you can make time very, very easy. The bottom line is, man, it's just sick. It's just sick, though. It's just sick. Women, bro. Not that men don't do it too, but I want to say men are kind of like dogs in their relationships. There's no thought. There's no thought that goes into it. It's just stupidity-based cheating, Whereas the women, they'll have babies by a guy. They'll have they'll want to be moving in. They'll be playing these niggas, man, in a way that's really crazy. Guys, stop fucking around with people that are, just nice people at their core, guys. Find other people that are jerks too, They're everywhere. You guys are made for each other. So don't make me want to vomit. You know what I'm saying? You like that segue? You like that segue, Stripes?
I just don't know how this is at the top when it's perfectly justified.
Look, I didn't put anything on the wish list. This what are some things we talked about?
Frogs?
We talked about frogs. I already typed that in though. Here's a plush frog. Oh, he's fantabulous. Something tells me if I threw him in the air, he'd land and be fine. Am I right?
Well, I think if you maybe just drop a frog, he'll be fine. But if you throw him up, it wouldn't be okay. There's too much force behind it. He couldn't be okay.
What am I gonna do with dice cufflinks? Give me some fuzzy dice.
You never wear any sleeves.
Not that you've seen.
I just think you don't like sleeves.
Oh shit, black fuzzy dice. Fuck yes. Do they have like this little watermark in between them? I don't like that. Can we not? Give me one that doesn't have marks in between them. They all have it, don't they? They all have some kind of gross mark. Well, that's the point of having the clean black dice, is that... And what sucks is, like, looking at some of these other ones, they don't look like they have... Okay, this one doesn't have any marks in it, but why is it like $9 instead of $6 like the other one? I guess that's the price you pay.
What's it matter if you're just gonna put it on your wish list and not actually buy it yourself?
Well, nigga, I don't want people spending $1 billion on stuff. That's the crazy part. And, you know...
Do you think they sell, like, puppet theaters on Amazon?
Puppet theaters? I don't know what the hell that is. We're gonna type it.
Like,
you
just
know?
the box that you'd stick your hand out of.
Oh my god, dude. The fact that Stripes can say that he's kind of he's a he's kind of creepy now. No, he's creepy up close. It's like, oh, look at the frog. Hey, what's going on? Kermit the Frog. Wait, hold on, Hunter. Kermit the so what's going on? I don't know what Kermit Frog. I don't know what Kermit sounds like anymore. I gotta listen to some stuff later.
Wait,
what?
Did you even add the puppet theater to your wish list?
Yes, Stripes. That's exactly what Kyle needs. Do you think that when I would do a puppet voice that I would change anything? It'd basically just be like, oh, hey guys, you know, I'm doing a puppet thing with my hand right now. You guys can't see. You know what I mean? You guys can't see that. What is going on? We need to end this list. How long was the list? An hour. We did it. We did it. See you guys later. I'm going to try to stream tonight. I'm sorry I've been falling off that wagon lately. It's just I've been ending up like able to stream super late. And I know that like some of you who want to see it. So expect to stream tonight at probably like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock rock, 5, 6, 7 o'clock. All right, it's enough. Maybe 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock for sure. I will start streaming. 9 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully, there will be some Overwatch announcements by then. You guys have a fantastic evening. Special thanks again to Lexeus and Bonnie, who sent me all those fortune cookies. Nuts, huh? I wonder what I should do for the next list. I was thinking about doing this garbage men thing. You know, what do some people do with their garbage that's frustrating? But yeah, no, a lot of these are looking like they're licking some serious ass.
You should open a fortune cookie before you end the list.
Yeah, well, why not, Stripes? Where'd you put the... Okay. I'm gonna open up the, I think I should do the wishbone thing again. And then depending on which one of us breaks away the fortune, then that's who it'll be. So look, Stripes and I are both gripping one end of the fortune cookie, and whoever pulls it up... Okay, let's do it, Stripes, go. She ended up with the fortune, bitch. What's it say, Stripes?
All progress occurs because people dare to be different.
Aw, well, that's kind of interesting. Stripes is definitely different. Her fortune said all progress occurs because people dare to be different. So if you're different, rejoice in that, and don't let anybody try to make it seem like that's a bad thing. You know, I'm gonna put my sweater on now and sing, you know, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for Kyle. Would you be mine? See you guys later.